Aloha, everyone! Hawaii, land of stunning beaches, volcanic landscapes, and an eye-watering cost of living. We're not talking slightly more expensive than the mainland here, folks. We're talking about a full-blown assault on your wallet. Think of the most expensive city you can imagine. Now imagine it's somehow gotten even pricier. That's Hawaii. While tourists sip Mai Tais and soak up the sun, many locals struggle just to afford the basics. The dream of living in paradise is increasingly out of reach for average Hawaiians. So, what's driving these insane prices? Well, let's just say the Aloha spirit doesn't quite extend to the bank accounts of ordinary folks. One word: billionaires. Yes, those titans of industry seem particularly drawn to Hawaii's charms. And who can blame them? The problem is, they're not just buying vacation homes. They're buying up massive chunks of land, further driving up prices and squeezing out local communities. Imagine being priced out of your own neighborhood by someone who considers your entire island their personal getaway. That's the reality for many native Hawaiians and longtime residents. These land grabs not only displace families, but they also chip away at the cultural fabric of the islands. It's a classic tale of the haves and the have-nots, but with a tropical twist. We're not talking about small-time investors here. We're talking about the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, who reportedly owns over 1,000 acres on Kauai, or Oprah Winfrey, with her sprawling Maui estate. These aren't just homes, they're compounds, complete with private beaches and enough acreage to get lost in. And the price tags? Well, let's just say they'd make your eyes water. We're talking tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, the average Hawaiian family is struggling to afford a modest two-bedroom home. It's a tale of two realities, existing side by side but worlds apart. Section 4. A roof over your head, the out-of-reach housing market. Let's talk real estate, shall we? In Hawaii, the housing market is about as forgiving as a volcanic eruption. The median home price is enough to make your head spin. Forget about finding a bargain. Even a fixer-upper will cost you an arm and a leg. For many locals, owning a home is simply a pipe dream. They're stuck renting, often paying exorbitant prices for cramped apartments. And with the influx of wealthy buyers, even rental prices are skyrocketing. It's a vicious cycle that's pushing more and more people out of the islands they call home. Section 5. Tourism trap, economic dependence, and its fragile foundation. Now you might be thinking, but what about tourism? Doesn't that bring in tons of money? Well, yes and no. Hawaii is heavily reliant on tourism, which, as we've seen recently, can be a risky strategy. Remember that little thing called a global pandemic? Yeah, that didn't exactly do wonders for Hawaii's economy. When tourism dries up, the whole state feels the pinch. This over-reliance on a single industry makes Hawaii incredibly vulnerable to external shocks. It's like building your house on a foundation of sand, not exactly the most stable situation. Section 6. The high cost of living, from groceries to utilities. It's not just housing that's breaking the bank. Everything in Hawaii costs more: groceries, gas, utilities, you name it. Want a gallon of milk? Be prepared to pay double what you would on the mainland. Need to fill up your tank? Get ready to empty your wallet. Even basic necessities like electricity are significantly more expensive. It's enough to make you want to live off the grid, except, well, good luck affording the solar panels. The cost of living in Hawaii is like a punch to the gut, and it's one that many residents simply can't withstand. Section 7. Squeezed out, the exodus of Hawaii's working class. So, what happens when paradise becomes unaffordable? People leave. That's right, native Hawaiians and longtime residents are being priced out of their own homeland. They're moving to the mainland in droves, seeking a more affordable existence. It's a heartbreaking exodus, a slow-motion displacement of a people from their ancestral lands. The Aloha spirit can only stretch so far when you're constantly struggling to make ends meet. And so, the very soul of Hawaii, its people, its culture, is slowly being eroded by the relentless tide of wealth and privilege.